The watches that we are both wearing right now, the 26399 and the 26600 tourbillons, these are examples of the R&D technical guys coming to and women coming together with us more commercial client brand storytelling and really saying, what are the collectors actually looking for? What do they dream about? What do they imagine? And that's really where we feel some of those successes have generated from, is we've closed that loop between all of these different departments. And between the two of us, we feel we cover, again, with our teams and with many other people, but between the two of us, we try to cover the whole 360 of a complication from the second it's conceptualized to the moment it's on the client's wrist and even the after service. Everything in between, we're trying to put into one capsule, into one sphere.
I'm interested in what you said earlier about you'll come in and talk about a contact point, a lug design, or perhaps, again, relating to tactility, relating to feel on wrist, relating to more than just the aesthetics. Can you point to an example on a code model where Michael's left a fingerprint?
Sure. I think that one of the conversations that Luca and I dove into right from the very beginning was symmetry and the importance of symmetrical design on complex watches. And there's a very visceral reaction that clients have to something that is symmetrical or asymmetrical, and one isn't better than the other. But asymmetrical design and asymmetrical layouts are inherently going to be a more niche reaction. And part of that is how we process information ourselves. This is tied to evolutionary biology. Our brains crave symmetry. This is what we see in nature. This is very much tied to matters much larger and much bigger than watch design. So Luca absorbed that along with Giulio and others, and they were already thinking along those lines. But then when we look at a watch like the 26399, where Luca's hearing the importance of symmetry, we're having meetings and updates on it, that will then inspire the teams in Lalac, as well as here, to push that very, very much further. It's almost like a vote of confidence in a way. We're already heading in this direction. Okay, now Michael's sharing that, and the retail and the clients are all sharing how important that is. Let's ramp that up to the maximum. So what becomes incredible and where they surprise me is the symmetry isn't just necessarily on the dial side, even on an open worked watch. It's when you turn the watch over as well, where they're creating movements that all aspects of it are embracing this artistic approach to symmetry. A couple examples of that are this 26399 I have, the one he has, but also Black Panther. The reverse of the movement of Black Panther is just as extraordinary as the front. And that's something that we talk a lot about, is those level of details and refinement and that psychological aspect, Andrew, that we look at our watch 60, 70, 80, 90 times a day, but often don't represent or even register what time it is. That idea that you're looking at an object of art in many respects, or of culture on your wrist. So knowing that time is part of a watch, but not exclusively what the watch's purpose is, and never was, by the way, in the history of horological work, the form has been as important as the function. And that's where objects of time measurement are distinctly different from any other works of culture. Usually a utilitarian object has a function, and its decoration and its form is very secondary. Watches, clocks, their ancestors speak a totally different language to that. So I would say that that's been a thumbprint that we've been able to work on and embellish together. Even with something coming that we just announced, Only Watch 2021 was another one. Of course, many people were involved, but Luke and I at the beginning with that vision and with that mindset of bringing one, symmetry is one point, and the other one is coherence, is our other huge word between our departments, is we look for coherency. So that's very important when our product mix is so diverse, and when our from ultra thin to super thick, different materials, different techniques, all of this, finding those notes of coherency and consistency, which not everyone will inherently recognize taking a quick view at Audemars Piguet. But when you start to dive deeper is when you start to see it. And that comes back to, again, finishing, but not just finishing for the sake of finishing to create play of light. That is the essential ingredient which unites all of our products, past, present, future. Sometimes Luca's team will develop or work with, or identify an amazing material that's very promising. But if they do their work and say that it can't be machine finished or hand finished to create a play of light, next, that material is not going to be used in that way.
Tell me about that process of discovery in terms of you experimenting with it, deciding whether it was going to be right, because there's been a lot of speculation about that today.